the Sunscreen Acquisition. Fhenix acquired the Sunscreen research team this week to integrate post-quantum cryptographic primitives directly into the execution layer of Ethereum. This move consolidates the development of Fully Homomorphic Encryption, or FHE, away from niche academic papers and into the core architecture of Layer 2 rollups. By bringing Sunscreen founder Ravitol Solomon on as head of research, the protocol is signaling a shift toward production-grade confidentiality, where the state itself remains encrypted. This is the transition from a theoretical moonshot to an engineering reality, where smart contracts can process data they can never actually see. The CoFHE coprocessor mechanism. The primary artifact in this stack is the FHE VM, an extension of the Ethereum virtual machine that allows smart contracts to perform logic on ciphertexts. Unlike zero-knowledge proofs, which only verify that a specific statement about data is true, FHE enables the data to be manipulated while it stays blind to the validator. To manage the massive computational overhead, which remains roughly 10,000 times heavier than plaintext, Fhenix uses a coprocessor model called CoFHE. This architecture offloads the heavy math to specialized nodes, while the new SDK released in June provides a standardized path for developers to implement threshold decryption across a distributed network. Parallelizing encrypted state. Scalability for these encrypted primitives rests on a technical choice introduced earlier this year called decomposable BFV. This approach splits large data values into smaller ciphertext fragments that the network can process in parallel rather than as a single monolithic block. It targets the specific latency bottleneck that previously made private order books and complex DeFi vaults impossible on-chain. While standard FHE is notoriously slow, this parallelization allows for higher throughput in exact integer math, even if the absolute overhead compared to a standard transaction is still orders of magnitude higher than a traditional rollup. The shift toward private computation. The convergence of the Sunscreen acquisition and the rollout of the CoFHE SDK reveals a structural pivot in the privacy landscape from verification to computation. While zero-knowledge technology dominated the last cycle by proving that private data was valid, FHE primitives are attempting to make that data interactive without ever exposing it to the infrastructure operator. This creates a fundamental engineering trade-off. You gain total state confidentiality at the cost of extreme latency and a reliance on emerging hardware acceleration like FHE-specific ASICs. The industry is effectively betting that the cost of computation will drop faster than the demand for private shared state will rise. For builders and analysts, the signal is not in the number of encrypted transactions, but in the efficiency and decentralization of the threshold decryption committees. If these committees become a bottleneck, the privacy gains of the underlying math are negated by the security model of the network. Watch the mainnet performance of these decomposable primitives as the benchmark for whether FHE can move beyond simple token transfers into full-scale decentralized applications where the order book is truly invisible. Subscribe for more